For a year or more now, I have been wanting to upgrade my small, like 13-inch laptop to a 16-inch, but once I realized they were gonna start putting the M1 chips and everything, I held off because I wanted an M1 chip in a MacBook Pro in a 16-inch, and so you better believe that about as fast as I possibly could, I ordered this puppy when they came out, and I just recently got it, and I actually haven't edited video on it yet, but supposedly it's gonna like blow this other puppy out of the water. So I thought I would do like a fun comparison. I have a video I need to edit. I plan to edit it here, but I thought it would be fun to compare some things between my old 13-inch laptop, which is a 2016 or 2017, that does not have the M1 chip, is completely upgraded otherwise, but is kind of laggy with 4K footage for sure, versus this one. Now, to add even more information to the puzzle, I haven't really been able to edit on my 13-inch for a while. Ever since I got 4K footage, 4K cameras, I haven't been editing on this because it lags so bad. It takes forever to do anything. I have to make proxy files, which is fine, but then they don't really work great. And my biggest thing with the 13-inch has been that I have to plug in an external hard drive, and if I will edit off of that, I can use the laptop. But for the purpose of this comparison, I'm gonna try and see what happens to edit like straight from the computer, straight into Final Cut Pro without proxy files and all of that jazz. Now, honestly, I think my 13-inch, let me see what model this is. It's a 2016. It was the first one they did the touch bar on. I think it's just gonna freak out and freeze, to be honest. So what I have done is I've offloaded the exact same footage on to both desktops, just so I know I'm editing from each one, or like on the right one. And I thought we'd do like a fun comparison. Also, Merry Christmas. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open up Final Cut Pro on both of them. I installed it on my new one, but I haven't actually used it yet. There's dirty dishes back there, you're welcome. Here, we'll hide them. There you go, now you can't see them anymore. Okay, so Final Cut Pro is open in both computers. Now let's drag. Okay, so I've officially put the same footage on both, but I've not like dragged anything to a project timeline or anything like that. I should also say that my 13-inch is plugged in because I know the battery won't last to do this, but my new 16-inch is not plugged in, mainly because I kind of wanted to see like what battery life looked like here. So I'm gonna drag both of the clips, and this is like a 30-minute clip, I believe, that I just filmed. So I'm gonna drag both down to the timeline. All right, now this is, I think, where we're gonna see the real difference. So on both computers, and this one's really dirty, sorry, I've got optimized and original selected in the view, and let's just see if we can scrub. See, like scrubbing the footage here is a problem. Now this is my 13-inch. Okay, now we're gonna try and scrub the footage over here, and it's going seamlessly. Okay, now I'm gonna try and just play the clip here. Super easy, most of them are pretty cheap. Look how it's lagging. And I would not be. Okay, so to edit, it's gonna lag like that. And then on this one, and I would be remiss not to share those awesome things with you because they make my life as a content creator way easier. This is literally like no proxies, nothing. This is exactly why I would have to turn on proxies here. And if I go and I create a proxy for these files, it is going to take hours, right? So this automatically is saving hours off of my workflow. What's really interesting too is that the color of the video clip looks completely different on both computers. One looks really warm and yellow and the other one looks really not. And I'm gonna say that my 16-inch new one is probably more accurate in color, but yeah, so automatically, like, we're saving hours here because scrubbing the footage but then also watching it back is not working. Like, it's lagging so bad I can't tell what's going on. And if I were to drag like color correction or my audio file that is from a different audio source onto here, I'm afraid we're gonna blow its mind because it's already buffering. And honestly, in my past experience, even with proxies, this bad boy just doesn't have it. So what I'm gonna try and do is just edit this whole video on my 16-inch on the new one. And again, I don't know if I said it, but I have the M1 Max chip in the 16-inch MacBook Pro. So I'm gonna edit it without turning on any proxies. I'm gonna do everything like normal and let's see if it starts to like buffer or lag. I'm only like 15 seconds into this video, but look at this. Like, this has 2 video clips, an extra audio, let me turn it down, an extra audio clip, because I've recorded on both my internal, or a top of mic camera and an external camera, microphone. And then also a couple other audio layers under here, color correction on all of it, multiple layers of color correction. And look, on Amazon, did you also know that you cannot buy the ability to keep them alive or a way to remember to water them? Okay, so that is like no proxy files, nothing. And then the same clip over here, which I have not done anything to, no proxy files, but also, let me turn this up a little. Whoa, too much, Jessica. Okay, no proxy files, but also no color correction, no nothing. You know what you can buy? Did you know that you can buy real plants on Amazon? But did you also know that you cannot buy the ability? Y'all, is that not insane? I am obviously not testing it with Premiere Pro, and Final Cut Pro is built for Mac, but already, I mean, it's just like, that's game changing. I can actually take my laptop with me somewhere and edit on it. Like, game frickin' changing. Y'all, this is my editing hairdo, by the way. Anytime I'm doing like deep computer work, I throw my hair up in a bun, but I just got done editing this video on this new computer, and I actually sat back there in that recliner the whole time, but y'all, you have to see this. So one of the places where every computer that I've had kind of stutters, especially without proxies and especially with like 4K footage, is when I do like slow-mo. So 60 frames per second, slow motion in Final Cut. It always has stuttered. Y'all, I have not turned proxies on. This is it, okay? All right, look, this is a B-roll of the Rodecaster Pro. Let me turn this down a little. And I mean, it's not stuttering at all. It's literally going as slow as I want it to go, being super smooth. It's literally bananas. Like, I am obsessed. I didn't have to waste hours creating proxy files. I don't waste storage creating proxy files. The laptop, which I didn't mention earlier, but the laptop has an SD card slot. So I didn't have to like find my dongle, which I did have to find for my 13-inch. Like, that clip, that slow-mo clip you just saw, again, is normally something that super slows down my process, but also it's on top of footage that has multiple layers of color grading, multiple audio feeds, and no proxies. Like, I think this was a good investment. Okay, so it took me about an hour, maybe a little more to edit that. Again, it was like a 30-minute situation. And my battery went from like 89% to 32%. So it definitely sucked up a lot of battery, but that's a pretty labor intensive job. Also, I have yet to hear the fans turn on. Like, I haven't heard the fans turn on not one time. I mean, maybe I missed it because they were so quiet, but not one time. So I'm gonna see how long this takes to export. And like, yeah, it is way better than my old laptop and way better than my completely upgraded iMac with the Intel chip. Okay, 6 minutes and 4 seconds it exported. And honestly, I'll be honest, I don't really know how that compares to my other laptop, or, well, my other laptop, it would have never made it that far, but, or to my iMac, but that's still pretty good. For 30 minutes worth of 4K footage with multiple like pieces of B-roll and all the things. 6 minutes. All right, so it is the next day after I did this initial editing test. And first of all, like, how cool is this? I got a Facebook ad for these. I'll link them below. I'm not an affiliate or anything, but it's called Fish Skin. And I did not want like a case to like pop on this because these 16-inch boys, they thick, you know? He's already pretty heavy and I didn't want to like weigh down this computer with like a case, you know, that like pops on. So anyway, I love this. So first of all, peep the new like back of it. But I have now edited the video y'all saw me edit, which was 30 minutes long, another 30-minute long video, a 15-minute long video, and I'm almost done with this video you're watching, which I don't know how long it is right now, but this thing's a beast. I have seen a little bit of like slowdown if I have too many projects open in Final Cut Pro or events open, or if I'm like being impatient and not waiting for the footage to fully import. And I will say this card, which is the one that I use on my A7S III, like one of the faster SD cards, it imports into Final Cut Pro like nothing, but the card that I'm filming on right now takes a little bit longer to import. So the only real time I've seen like it slow down or bog down at all is just when I'm being too impatient and the footage hasn't imported from the SD card as quickly as I would have liked. Or like I said, if there were a lot of events and projects open at once, but it still didn't like slow the footage down. It would just kind of get mad at me if I tried to do too many things too fast. I'm like so impressed to the point where I'm seriously considering getting rid of my iMac and just getting a bigger screen to like hook this puppy to. But I may just also get a bigger screen. I don't know. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for somebody out there looking for whether or not the M1 Max or Pro chips are what you need as a video editor or as a YouTuber. Now, again, I have the M1 Max chip in the 16-inch Pro model, MacBook Pro model, and I have it completely spec'd out. The only thing that's not spec'd out was the actual like steady state storage. I only got 2 terabytes. I didn't get like the 8 terabyte model or whatever, but anything else that could be upgraded was upgraded. So, you know, the most upgraded child here. And so I can't speak to the M1 Max Pro chip or anything of that nature, but the Max chip, spectacular. I will say I actually have 2 M1 Mac Minis, and I bought them when I had my studio and gave myself one and Laura one, and we just had, you know, external monitors hooked to them, and Laura still has hers, and I still have the M1 Mac Mini in my house. And that is the reason that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to wait for the M1 chip in the laptop, because just like editing in Final Cut Pro on the M1s is like butter. And that was without the Pro or the Max version of the chip. I will say I still needed to create proxies with the M1 Mac Minis, but for the most part, they ran like a dream, especially when I compared them to my Intel chipped iMac that's completely spec'd out. So that is my perspective. Hopefully that is helpful. I will say I'm very happy with my decision, with my purchasing decision, and I can't wait to, like, I think this is gonna be my new go-to, my everyday go-to. Like, this is what I will use to work. So I've got to figure out, you know, if I want to get rid of my iMac or if I just want to get another screen, because I actually have 2 desks, so I could do that. Anyway, y'all, it's awesome. If you saw something in this video that you were like, oh, wait, Jessica, why'd you do that? Or how'd you do that? Or blah, blah, blah. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to do some more videos like this, and am always looking to help fellow creators out with, you know, all the things that they need to create, literally create the life that they love. So, bye y'all.